Force. In the previous chapter, we studied about motion. We described motion of an object along a straight line in terms of its position, velocity, and acceleration. You know that an object in motion changes its position with time. An object in motion changes its position with time. Now, a few questions arise. What causes motion? What is the cause of motion? Why does the speed of an object change with time? Do all motions require a cause? In this chapter, we will find out the answers of these questions. For many centuries, the problem of motion and its causes had puzzled scientists and philosophers. Galileo and Isaac Newton gave much contribution to this field of study, and they developed an entirely different approach to understand motion. So let's see about Newton's laws of motion in this chapter. In our everyday life, we observe that some effort is required to put a stationary object into motion or to stop a moving object. A ball which is at rest on the ground starts moving if you push it. It's observed that a ball which is at rest starts moving if you push it. A stationary shopping cart or trolley sets in motion when you push it. A football goalkeeper applies a force on the ball to stop the moving ball. In cricket, a batsman hits the ball using the bat, which changes the direction of the motion of the ball. In all the above examples, pushing, pulling, or hitting objects causes change in their state of motion. In all the above examples, pushing, pulling, or hitting objects causes change in their state of motion. What do you call a push or a pull? A push or pull is called force. Or we can say that force causes motion. We got the answer of the question. Force causes motion. What is force? Let's define force. A push or pull on an object by another is called force. A push or pull on an object by another is called force. And you know that force comes into play when an object interacts with another object. When you push or pull a table, there is interaction between you and the table, and force is applied when pushing a table and also when pulling a table. How can we identify force? What are the characteristics of force? Magnitude, line of action, nature, and point of application are 4 characteristics of force. Magnitude. Magnitude is the measure of quantity of force. How much force is applied on an object, and that is given by its magnitude. Magnitude is measured by the unit kilogram meter per second square or Newton. In CGS system, the unit is dyne. Line of action. What is meant by line of action? It's a line along which the force acts. The line along which the force acts is its line of action. Consider a book which is kept on a table. You know that the gravitational force acts on the book in downward direction. Or we can say that the line of action of gravitational force is vertical. If you push the book horizontally, then the line of action will become horizontal. Line of action can be inclined also. So we can say that the line of action of a force can be horizontal, vertical, or inclined. Nature of force. The nature of force can be a push or it can be in the form of a pull. Point of application. It is the point where the force is applied. The effect of force on a body depends on the point at which the force is applied. In the picture, if the force is applied at a point A at the top of the object falls forward. If the same magnitude of force is applied at a point B, which is at the middle of the object will move forward. If the point of application of the force is at C, which is at the bottom of the object falls backward. It means that the effect of force on a body depends on the point at which the force is applied. How to calculate force? Force is equal to mass multiplied by acceleration. Force is obtained by multiplying mass with acceleration. The magnitude of force depends upon the mass of the object and its acceleration. F is equal to ma. Force is a vector quantity. The quantity of force is its magnitude. It has direction also. The direction along which the force is applied is also important. Force is a physical quantity which has both magnitude and direction. Therefore, we can say that force is a vector quantity. What is the unit of force? The unit of mass is kilogram and the unit of acceleration is meter per second square. So, the SI unit of force is kilogram meter per second square. It is known as Newton. 1 Newton is the force applied on a body of mass 1 kg to give it an acceleration of 1 meter per second. In CGS system, the unit of force is dyne. It is gram centimeter per second square. 1 Newton is 1 lakh dyne. What are the effects of force? Force can start or stop a motion. To start the motion of a body, force is required, and also to stop a moving object, force is required. Force can change the speed of an object, making it to move slower or faster. Force can change the direction of motion of an object. Force is required to change the direction of motion of an object. Force can also change the shape of an object. Now let's see what are the two types of force. Forces are classified under two categories: contact force and non-contact force. What do we mean by contact force? Contact force is a force which can be exerted by an object on another object only through physical contact. That means this force comes into play when two objects are in contact. Examples are muscular force, frictional force, etc. Non-contact force. Force which can be exerted by an object on another object without any physical contact with it. You know that a magnet can attract another magnet or objects made of iron even though the object is not in contact with the magnet. Hence, magnetic force is an example of non-contact force. Other examples include electrostatic force, gravitational force, etc. We learned that force causes motion. Consider a ball which is kept on a table. The ball is at rest. Does it mean that no force is applied on the ball? No. There are forces acting on the ball. Gravitational force acts downward and the normal force acts upward. Then why the ball is not moving? Here, the two forces, that is, gravitational force and normal force, are acting in opposite direction. If the two forces are in opposite direction, the net force acting on the ball is the difference between the two forces. If the two forces act in the opposite direction on an object, the net force acting on it is the difference between the two forces. And if the two forces are equal and opposite, the net force is zero. Or we can say that the forces are balanced. In this case, the two forces, gravitational force and normal force, are balanced forces. That is why the ball remains stationary. Choose a heavy object which is a table or a box. Try to push it by yourself. Can you move it? Now ask one of your friends to help you in pushing it in the same direction. Is it easier to move it now? Can you explain the reason? Here, when forces are applied on the object in the same direction, the net force is the sum of the two forces. When both of you pushed the table, it started moving. Frictional force is acting against the motion of the object. The force applied by you and your friend on the table or on the box is more than the force of friction. That is why the table started moving. These forces are not balanced. Here, the two forces are not balanced. Unbalanced force acts in the direction, and that direction the block moves. That means an unbalanced force acting on an object brings motion. Let's summarize the points that we learned in this session. Force causes motion. Force is a push or pull on an object by another object. Force is characterized by its magnitude, line of action, nature, and point of action. Force is obtained by multiplying mass with acceleration. F is equal to ma. The SI unit of force is Newton. Force may change the state of motion of an object. Forces are of two types, contact force and non-contact force. Balanced forces do not change the state of rest or of motion of an object. Unbalanced force causes motion.